Hey.
Morning. This is my son Jeff.
Yep.
I don't know if you've met
Yep.
him or
Good to
not.
see you.
We've met before.
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
Good. How's everything?
Hanging in there.
Got the Procrit last week.
I've been watching your blood come back from Chris's office. It's pretty scary.
Mm-hmm.
The last one, without even looking at your chart, was like 21 or something like that. It was really low. I'll check it again, but that's what I. Oh, dang, glasses. No! Glasses.
Getting like me.
Wait a minute, I thought it was 61.
Yeah.
I think he's mistaken.
Yeah.
That was 61, wasn't it?
Huh?
It was 61 instead of 21. The blood count.
Let me see. The last one I got, which opened my eyes, was 19. Wasn't 21, it was 19.
Wow.
19.9. So your hematocrit is 45. My hematocrit is 45. His hematocrit is 19.
Wow.
That's the red cell capacity. That carries around oxygen.
Mm-hmm.
So you and I, we walk around, don't even think twice about it. When he walks around, he doesn't have enough boxcars to carry oxygen. So he's going to be very short of breath. And that's what made that demand heart attack that he had.
Mhm.
He didn't have enough, not that his circulation is bad, just doesn't have enough boxcars.
Now since he's had the Procrit shot, hasn't been noticing any shortness of breath.
So maybe it's better.
Yeah.
So when did he have the shot?
Friday.
Friday of last week.
Friday of last week. So this was 21. 221. Today is 26.
That was Friday.
It was Friday too?
Yeah,
Okay, so it's Friday. So hopefully that's up. So we got a Procrit. Good. All right.
But I also had 2 units of blood, so that may have,
A Friday?
yeah.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. That's why it's better.
But I also have this rash problem.
Yeah, is that better?
And I went to see Krasner,
Krasner.
and he was going to send you some notes. Did you get any from him? Because he's thinking that this heart stuff may have a relation to the rash, because he did 2 biopsies and had no conclusive results.
I see.
And he thinks it might be a drug reaction.
Okay.
So this lisinopril,
Yeah.
that's, I think, the one that he said he thought might be causing it. And he was going to send you notes on it, but you must not have gotten them yet. Have you?
We thought initially it was Bactrim.
Oh, it's
No.
something else?
We thought it was initially Bactrim because you were giving that to yourself while you were self-catheterizing, and that's a sulfa drug that can cause.
Yeah, I discontinued that. You told me to do that a while back.
The Lisinopril can cause rash, but it's infrequent. It's not the most common thing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I have a note from him yet, but I will. When did you see him? Friday?
No, I saw him Monday.
Oh, so I know I haven't got any. I guess it's too quick.
Yeah.
All right, I'll look at that and see.
And he prescribed this cream to put on the rash.
Triamcinolone, yeah. Does
Which-
that help?
Well, I just used it the first time last night, and it burned like fire all night long. But I felt like it must be doing something if it was burning. And the worst part is around my ankles. And
Good God.
I haven't put it on but one time. I'm supposed to do it twice a day. I didn't put it on before I came there, and I thought I'd do it when I got back home. But
He's also having some real bad problems getting this ointment on his back.
Yeah.
He can't hit the spots, and my wife, or his wife, my mother, is getting a little testy, because he says you're not putting it in the right spot, and it's, back and forth with that. So
I'm
look at this arm. I want you to see this.
is there anything he can do to apply it himself?
No.
Yeah, there's just no way around it, right?
So usually when something goes wrong, it's all the same thing. If your car's not running and it's got bad gas, there's water in the gas and runs rut, it's hard to believe that all of a sudden the pistons aren't right, and
Yeah.
the carburetor's not right, and the exhaust isn't right. It doesn't make sense. So we know he's got a problem with his bone marrow. And simultaneously he has this rash.
Mm-hmm.
I firmly believe they're connected.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't make any sense. And that bone marrow problem has been progressive. His hematocrit has gone from 48 to 38 to 30 to 28 to 21 to 19. So that's been progressive.
Mm-hmm.
This rash has similarly been progressive. So and he's been on lisinopril and those other drugs forever. The most likely it was Bactrim. We stopped that, didn't make any difference. So it tells me, I mean, he's been on those forever. You can develop rashes to some of these medicines chronically, and I would entertain that, but when you have an active process in the bone marrow, there's going to be something that's hurting the bone marrow there. And it can be anything from just what we call myelodysplastic syndrome, where the bone marrow gets beat up with life, or sometimes there's secondary things like lymphomas and leukemias there. And I think that process is doing this.
Well, Friday, Dr. Pritchett put me back on prednisone,
That's what you need. That's what I'm getting to.
but it's only 5 milligrams.
A day?
Is that enough? 5 a day?
Yeah, that's the start. That makes sense. Because I know the rash has disappeared with prednisone before, and this
Mhm.
cream is a prednisone thing. So that's going to help the rash. I suspect it'll also help the bone marrow because the two are connected.
Really? Wow, that's good news.
And
That's
see,
what
I
think.
just started the prednisone last Friday,
Yeah.
so it's only been 2 or 3 days.
Hmm.
All right.
But I took more the last time I took it. Yeah, I had 3 a day at the first week, 2 a day the second week, and 1 a day the third week. But I'm just getting this 5 milligram a day now. Is that enough? You think? Okay.
Yeah. So let's not change any other of your medicines.
Okay.
Let's assume that it's related, and we'll see what happens with the prednisone. And I
What
think
about this whatever I showed you?
lisinopril, stay on that.
This 2-day-a-week thing?
The
This stuff?
throw it to me. Instant replay. You just take this twice a week?
Yeah, because it was making me so dizzy I couldn't stand up. I was taking it every day, and you said, well, just do it Tuesdays and Fridays.
Well, it makes you dizzy, doesn't it? Just
Yeah.
stop it. Just stop it.
Oh, okay.
Just stop that. That'll take care of that.
Okay.
The blood pressure is a little low side. It's got 108. So stop that. I'll take that off the picture.
Is it logical for this cream, the first time I use it, to burn like that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is it going to get better over time?
Yeah, is it going to ease up the more I use it?
It will. The prednisone will help that.
Oh, okay. If it didn't have any reaction, I would think it wasn't doing any good.
Yeah, see, back in October when this thing started, the rash and everything, I put them on 30 milligrams a day back of prednisone, and then slowly.
Yeah, you're the one that did that.
30, but that's
Uh-huh.
considerably more than what he's taking now.
And your CBC improved a little bit. So, and actually, back in October is when I started the lisinopril. So you had the rash before the lisinopril.
Oh, okay.
You had the rash before the lisinopril. So,
Do you want to bump that up, the prednisone, a little bit higher than 5? Because that's all you're taking right now, right?
let's see. I mean, we can.
Have you got any notes from Pritchett? See, he's going to send you some Friday, and then Krasner's
see.
going to send you some Monday. So you haven't gotten either one of them yet.
I don't think it's lisinopril. I'll tell that because you were actually the rash preceded that.
Mm-hmm.
In October of 2017, October of, let me see when that was. It was October, started today, October 21st, and you presented with a rash of his lower extremities, and I gave you prednisone for that,
Mm-hmm.
and so the rash.
Well, what you gave me that time killed the itch right away.
So, shortness of breath. Oh. Actually, if I take this back another, start lisinopril in August. If I go back all the way, actually it was August. And when did the rash start? You're short of breath, and maybe the rash did start after that.
Yeah, see, that's what the crashness is.
September. Yeah, it was after. Just stop that.
Okay, well, good. Maybe that would do something.
All right. You're taking, how are your sugars been? They've been okay?
Yeah, with the Januvia, you just do that 3-month check on me whenever I come in.
Yeah.
I don't check it daily.
All right. We'll.
But I didn't pass because the car I asked when I left last time, and she said no, it wasn't required this time. So
I can do it through the blood. I can do it
Oh,
hemoing, so we'll
okay.
see where you are with that. All right. All right, let me have Lily check that. All right, we will follow along, but
just keep taking the 5 milligrams.
5 milligrams.
Okay.
And it's going to improve. It'd
Okay.
be interesting if we stop it altogether and take a week. If it goes away completely, then I would say maybe he was right with the lisinopril. But if it gets better but not all the way on the 5, and that goes on for weeks, and it wasn't the lisinopril, it was this condition you got in your bone marrow. All right, Lily will check some stuff. You look like you're feeling better.
Yeah, well, I do feel better.
I think so too. Since last week, I think he looks and sounds a whole lot better.
Yeah.
But we were thinking that could be just because of the
That's
2
the blood.
plasmas
Yeah.
that he got.
So we have, circulating, you have probably 10 of those units. You get 2. That's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a fifth of his blood supply.
Yeah. Wow.
How long can you do that? I thought
You can do it-
Bridget said
Can't
not
do it
over
forever.
20.
Mhm.
Not over 20.
You're limited by that because you develop antibodies to them. And then you just, when we give them to you, you just chew them up.
Wow.
So, yeah, you're limited to about 20. That's probably right.
And then where do we go from there? I mean, we're putting a lot of faith on the Procrit, but if that doesn't solve the anemia at that point, he's going to have to go on something that's a little more aggressive with a little more serious side effects.
Well, it would, if his marrow is just pooping out and doesn't respond to the Procrit, that's a really bad thing because the marrow's just
Had it.
had it. If there's something they find in the bone marrow, like lymphoma, prednisone will kill it, and things will improve for a while. So it depends on what the primary issue is.
Now, the fact that you're mentioning this lymphoma is interesting because Dad had a question last week about his previous use of Roundup maybe having something to do with this, and it was dismissed because it's lymphoma primarily, the cancers that result from Roundup. So if this turns out to be a lymphoma issue with his marrow, could that in some way be attributed to the Roundup use?
Could be.
Oh, well, I was feeling so good about it because I thought we're good. I wasn't stupid for using the Roundup, but now I'm OD.
Did you use it a lot?
I have a gravel driveway with weeds, and every year for the last 15 years, I guess, at least, I've been using the Roundup.
And you use a sprayer, right?
And I use sometimes just a little, like a dish dispenser, fill that to get down in close to some of the flowers and stuff so I don't spray anything else. So I'm right on top of it.
Breathing it.
Yeah. So, but I'm out in the open,
Yeah.
and just spraying.
Yeah.
I didn't think that would.
That's not a lot. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
not a huge use.
Mm.
We'll see.
Okay.
All right, yep.
See you guys. Should be right to you.
Take it
Okay,
easy.
thanks.